Welcome everybody to the fourth installment of Let That Sink In. I'm your host, Anthony Mathurin, and I'm once again pleased to be joined by my fabulous co-host. First up, we have the tantalizing temptress, more subtle than a flying mallet, yet guaranteed to make you smile from ear to ear. It is the one and only Ash Feeding. And next up, we have the notorious, the phenomenal, more incredible than General Levy himself, the awesome Leon Jackman.
Hello.
Okay, guys, here we are, another episode. What do we got for the people? That's the fundamental question. What twists do we have? What turns do we have? What surprises do we have? What if?
What if?
Feel a what if moment coming on? The fundamental questions. What if?
The thing is, there are so many what ifs, and like we don't even realize sometimes that we're in those kind of what if scenarios like every day.
It's always what if, isn't it? It really is. And sometimes it's a good thing the what if stay right here.
Yeah,
Not in that brain. Because those what if
there's
people might
definitely
flabbergast.
there's definitely some what ifs that need to stay in people's heads. I'm telling you that now. But I was watching it wasn't even I was watching, it was just randomly popped up on my feed the other day, right? And it was like, I think the story was, this guy had a large amount of money had been put into his bank account. I think it might have been something like £1 million or something like that, right?
Snap.
And he got asked to give the money back, right? And obviously, like, he's thinking, nah, mate, this is my money now. Do you see what I mean?
Finders keepers. Losers weepers.
However, the stipulation was if he doesn't give the money back, he had to spend like a year in jail or something like that. And this was my scenario. Is like, what if you woke up in the morning and you had so we're talking about life-changing money. £1 million is in your account when you wake up in the morning. £1 million. And you're like, yo, where's this come from? That doesn't make no sense. You then get an email. No, you then get a phone call from the bank saying, oh, apologies. There's an error, clerical error. Can you come down and speak to us about this? And it's like, okay, no problem. I'm going to come down to the bank. I'm free at 12. I'll be there soon. You get down there at 12. There's police there. There's everything, right? Ready to take you away. Like, if you do not cooperate, So it's like, okay, well, by accident, this money's gone to your account, but we need it back. So we can't just press a button without your consent. So we need you to basically accept what we're saying. And if you are now happy to give that back, that's fine. Thank you very much. But if not, see these guys around here right now, they're about to take you to jail. And it's a year in prison. There is no other alternative. Yeah. What are you going to do in that scenario?
Which country is it? Is it this country?
I'm saying no.
I'm just saying, you in the US is a bit different to a year in prison.
Let's turn it up a notch then, yeah? It has happened here. But you know what? There ain't no space in these jails right now. So I'm sending you to Guantanamo. What's it? Guantanamo Bay.
Guantanamo Bay.
Right now, yeah? Just, what is any of you not doing this scenario? Because when I heard this story, I thought to myself, this is weird because that £1 million is nice, right? And I think to myself, that could change everyone's life. But then, like, I think Ash touched on it, depending on what prison it was. You think it might just be a cushy time playing PlayStation, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Listen, from what I know, never been in prison. From what I know, unless you're ready for prison, it's not a nice place to go. Yeah, full stop. Some people think that that's fine. I'll ride it out and be fine. But not everyone's made for that type of life.
Okay, I mean, look, okay, what if I said, not a problem, officer or Mr. Bank Manager, I'm just on holiday right now in Mexico for a couple of weeks, and when I'm back, I'll come straight to you. So what I would do in that scenario is just move that million into a cash ISA for a couple of weeks, so it at least makes some interest, and then I'll move it back into the...
No. There's no stipulation. There's no let me make this money, make money. There's no stipulations. You either have the money and it sits there dormant in that same account. You go rot yourself in jail for a year. Simple.
Well, I don't want to be anybody's prison bitch. Do you know what I mean? So...
Do you want to be a prison bitch?
I mean, it just doesn't get any better, does it? For me personally, I'm going to have to sit down and look at it like this. All right. That's going to cost me a year of my time. Within a year of my time, would I make that milli? Once I put it on the scales, It's just a year. It's a year
Yeah,
inside.
but then you've got a criminal record for the rest of your life.
Yeah, but I ain't
You
coming out with
can't,
a
like,
million.
can you leave the
Now,
country?
all I'm saying
Because
is
£1 million ain't going to get you a fake passport and a nice life somewhere.
what that definitely goes nicely to the point I was going to bring, which is that £1 million does seem a little bit low in this day and age. There was a time when if you had £1 million, that was saying something. I mean, if you try and buy a house in Walthamstow, it's going to cost you 650k at least. You won't have a lot
More
of
than
change of a
that, mate.
milli. Yeah, 700k, potentially 800k, maybe even climbing up to that. So my point is, a milli wouldn't even stretch that far. And so when you say life changing, what's life changing to me is like you're telling me, add an extra zero there. Tell me 10 milli. 10
See,
milli.
but this is because obviously I had this conversation at work. This is where it gets a bit. Obviously, everyone's scenarios and everyone's financial kind of scenario basically is different. Yeah. However, to me, 1 million, because it all depends what you say is life changing. Now, you just said if I was in prison for a year, would I make £1 million if I was on the road? Oh, I'd say on the road like I'm a roadman, but like I was out, like I was.
Confessions, the confessionals,
No,
the
no, no. But
confessionals,
like I was outside.
especially with a chain like that.
This is not a milli. I'll tell you that now. Anyway, yeah. If I was, if I was outside 9 to 5 job working, whatever you're doing, little bits and bobs, whatever, I ain't making £1 million. So that's life changing money. Like, how long would I have to work to make £1 million? So how can that not? I understand what you say in terms of, oh, it wouldn't buy a house in certain places, but this is where that you're now limiting yourself to that scenario. I'm not limiting myself to say I want to go and buy a house in Chelsea. Of course, I can't buy a house in
Chelsea,
Chelsea. No,
Chelsea,
no,
Chelsea, you can't buy a house with
no.
1
I'm
million
just
there.
telling you. I'm giving you an example. I wouldn't be able to afford a house like a 4 bedroom house in Chelsea with £1 million. So that's different. My house now doesn't cost £1 million. Do you see what I mean? So it depends what you want to do. £1 million is life changing because some people can go to and buy a house. You can go and buy a property. You can go and flip that property. You can go and do this. How can it not be life changing? It's changing my life because I can't go to work and make £1 million. It's
So
life changing.
No, but say if you bought, in modern day, if you bought a property, say you have £1 million, and hear me out, because I've thought about this quite a lot, actually, right? If you bought a house, let's just say, for hindsight, it's in London, we're in East London, and instead of Walthamstow prices, let's look at somewhere else. And let's just say it's 500 grand. If you bought the house outright, then you've only got 500 grand. However, that 500 grand, you can't give up your job on 500 grand. Do you see what I mean?
No, I listen. I'm totally aware of the stakes. I'm totally aware of the stakes, aware of it. But I think sometimes we get clouded in terms of like, even in that word, life changing. Because you know what? That's to say, and I'm going to go to extremes. So if I chop off my foot, but I can still get to A to B, is it life changing? Yes or no?
Well, I mean, it is.
Yeah, so of course it is. So if I put in a
Yeah.
perspective of now that I can actually so put myself into an example where I was just 9 to 5 and I'm renting, but then now all of a sudden I could actually buy a house, and then now maybe I have got £300,000 there to do whatever and blah blah. How can it not be life changing? It's
No,
changed my
you're right.
life to
You're
a
right.
point where
You're
I've
right.
actually bought something that I couldn't have bought. It's changed the life. So
No,
sometimes I think
you're
when
right.
people hear life changing, it's thinking, oh, I've got to have £10 billion because that's cool.
That,
That's astronomical.
let me
That's
let me
astronomical
let me
from the
give you
life changing.
let me give you a different perspective. Here's another perspective. Right. So you have that scenario. All I'm saying is that what 1 million could have done for you previously, it's not the same right here and right now. However, it does depend how somebody will break that down. So for me, let me define life changing. Life changing for me is that, money generates money. I could not work for, doesn't matter. I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about income. That's life changing.
Yeah.
Now, that's what I define life changing as for me. Yeah. So if I can do whatever I want, within the year, doesn't matter. If I'm actually working, I'm not working, I'm still generating, that's life changing. If that million was able to do that, because as you said, it depends what you do. Some people could just go and buy one property with it. Somebody else
Mm.
goes and says, do you know what? Actually, I'm going to buy a few. I'm going to flip a few, try and, it really does depend. Everyone's different. Depends on their system, because this is one of the reasons why somebody can win the lottery, yet still 6 months later, they haven't got anything, because it depends on the person. But I'm just saying that 1 million doesn't necessarily have that
Same
same
value.
power. So say, for example, the
Yeah.
same value. Say if it was 6 million, argument's sake, right? It was 6 million. Well, then you could use, say, I don't know, half of that money for lovely investments to keep things churning. Then you may spend some, you do that. But now that's life changing because I'm not worried about these things. This is paid for, it's bought and paid for. That's bought and paid for. I don't have that stress. Plus, I don't have the stress of, look, I've got to go out there and I've got to do this in order to get this income. That's life changing, in my opinion. However,
Okay.
somebody else may look at
Rebuttal.
it.
Rebuttal to you. Rebuttal to you. Was you going on the traitors a life changing moment in your part of your life? Hold on, let me finish that.
Go on, go on, go on.
Would you have got chess masters without the traitors?
Okay, so now,
No, this is not. This is not. I'm trying to get into your head.
hold up a
I'm trying to
minute,
get
hold
into
up a
your head.
minute, hold up a minute, hold up a minute. Right, right. Now you're bringing in the traitors as life changing. Of course, it's a life changing opportunity. Hold on. Opportunity. That's what it is. Now, I'm not trying to say that the £1 million. I've never said that the £1 million is not an opportunity. I'm just saying the level of opportunity. It depends on the person. How I would break down that £1 million compared to how you would break it down, compared to how Ash would break it down, compared to how our listeners would break it down. You know, our viewers will break it down. Everybody will see it differently. Some people give them a milli, they'll show you how to spend a milli today.
No,
Done.
but my thing is the wording. Is the wording. So what I'm saying is that I'm not debating whether you gave me £100 million if that's not going to be something which, like you said, I could afford to. Actually, you know what? Different investments, whatever. I don't even have to get. You know what? When I roll over, I've made money. So I understand what you mean in that sense, yeah. But
Yeah.
what I mean is that sometimes I think we jump so into like, well, that's not enough, or this is not enough, or that's not enough, or it needs to be this. My thing is that there's certain elements of life that happen which actually change your life, and they are life changing. When I had my son, that was a life changing moment. Doesn't
Yeah.
mean that everything stopped. Wait, no, I'm just giving you examples. Just because I want there's layers to the wording of life changing.
You get my
Something
point?
changed your life for the better has to be life changing.
Yeah.
Has to be. That's the only terminology I know.
I don't think there's even a debate on life changing. As I said, you'd have to ask every individual what is life changing to them. For you, life changing will
Well,
be
I'm going to
birth of
say
your
to
son.
all the listeners right now, if you don't want £1 million, it's not life changing to you, give it to me. Yeah, give it to me. Yeah, because you don't respect what life
You know
changing is.
what? Look, if we're going to break it down, and if I was really, really, really smart, £1 million at this age would be life changing to a certain degree, right? Because ultimately, I'm heading towards a certain age. And realistically, I don't want to be working really in my 50s and 60s. I really don't. But realistically, if I don't come into a lot of money, I am going to be. And I don't want to spend my entire life working. So if I could stop working, then yes, that would be life changing. But I could find a way to make $1 million work for me.
Especially the both of you. No, seriously, that was nice. Sorry. I didn't mean it. It's not a deep thing. Like, listen, I ain't got £1 million. I ain't been given a scenario.
Would you go to jail?
Would you go to
Where
jail?
this is where it's technical, because if I had nobody here, let's say I was a single man, yeah, I was 19, 20. I don't think I would even debate it. I think I'll just go and ride it out. As you get older, life changes. And of course, I'm thinking to myself, like, what would I want? I'm thinking about my family. Like, it was bad enough when I'm away from my family. I miss my family. But however, if you're telling me that in terms of me going away means that, because remember, my whole thing has always been to provide. So if I'm going to go away and I feel like I could be all right inside prison or whatever, then it's fine, because I'm going to come out and then, you know what, babes, while I'm away, do this, do that. Then we're good, because you lot are good, because you lot have got something. Because if I leave this place, this earth, and I've left them with something, then I feel like I've done my job. When I think about my sons when I'm not here, when I even got a house, I think to myself, that's great, because at least now, that's something for them. Do you see what I mean? So it's like, there's so much different facets to it and how it works. But
and
would
that is the thing.
Would I go in prison right now if this happened to me? I might do it. Do you see what I mean? As you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to, as you know, I'm going to go on the run. How about that? Yeah, I'm going on the run.
As Ash has suggested, Mexico may be a very good destination.
I wouldn't go to jail. No, I don't think someone like me is made for jail, honey. There's no way.
Is that you politely decline?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd stay out of jail and stay on my measly salary. Thanks very much.
Okay, how much would you do it for, Ash, though?
You see, everyone's got a price, eh? Hey, is that
Yeah, maybe I've got a price.
the point?
Maybe 100 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
Half a
Maybe
billion.
50 million. Maybe 50 million.
It's dropping. Every 2 seconds, it's dropping. Maybe 25.
What's your price,
Well, price.
Anthony?
Listen. Are we fishing out here? You never know who's viewing. You know what I mean? You're trying to, Leon's there exposing our prices out here. You know what I mean? Leon will go for a milli. Just give him a milli and he's gone. He's
do you
all
know
yours.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
1 milli. He's all
I'm
yours.
going for a
Ashton,
mil.
50 milli. 50 million. She's all yours. You know what I mean? Gosh, and oh gosh, yeah. What's me price? All right, what's me
Because it's
price?
different. You two have got kids, so it's a different scenario for you. Do you know what I mean?
No, you know what? It's priceless. Yeah, priceless.
Priceless.
Yeah, it's
What
priceless,
about
man.
you? What about you?
I'm taking the
What's your
mil.
number?
I already told you, I'm taking £1 million.
He's going for a milli. He's going for a
Taking £1
milli.
million.
He's going for a milli.
I've
1 million.
I'm not proclaiming to be any kind of hard man or whatever, but I'll take my chances and I'll go to prison. Yeah.
You can handle yourself, to be honest. Another what if scenario for you. Now, this one I think is quite interesting. What if you were a fly for a day? Okay? No one can swat you, no one can kill you. All right? Just FYI. You're not going to die. But if you were a fly for a day, where would you go? What would you do? Just for one day. And you could fly anywhere and pretend it didn't take you 10 hours to get to New York. Say if you were just able to.
Just for example, just so I can get a bit of clarity on my fly life, right? So once I fly somewhere, am I still just a fly?
Yeah, you're just a fly. You get to be a fly on the wall somewhere for one day. Like, imagine a fly on the wall scenario. So you get to hear or see things that you wouldn't normally get to hear or see.
Because as soon as you said fly, all I thought was like, like eating shit and stuff like that. Do you see what I mean? But that doesn't excite me. You know what I mean?
He's thinking,
However,
what?
if you're just
The
saying
day in the life of
flying
a
on
fly.
the wall, just want to see what I go on and
Fly on the wall, yeah. In this what if fly scenario, you don't have to worry about food and you don't have to worry about dying or being swatted or sitting on piles of cow pat. Do you know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Fist off dogs and all of that. You know what I mean?
You don't have to worry
You've
about
got food.
dengue fever. You don't have to worry about wasps or birds eating you. You just get to be a fly on the wall somewhere. Like for me, actually, because I've been thinking hard about this and it really relates well to your scenario, right? For me, I think I'd like to be a fly on the wall in maybe like a stockbroker's office. Because I'm like, what am I going to gain? Like, I don't care about knowing state secrets. I don't care about knowing celebrity gossip. I'm like, what's actually going to physically benefit me? So I just want to know, like, some insider trading.
Inside intel.
I want some intel.
Intel. So you could download the Intel on a Pentium processor.
Do
You know what I mean? Fly away with the
some intel
details.
so I don't have to go to jail for a year.
Exactly. And then she'll make a milli. She'll make a quick 50 milli. Don't mess about.
yeah, and you know what? She might even still end up going jail because someone might click on the insider trading. The next thing you know,
Well,
like,
no,
hold on.
because I'd be a fly. And then
Yeah, no, but
if I'm
no,
a fly, then I'm not a human.
Yeah, but you're
Therefore,
fly to get
If
that
I'm a
information.
fly, then I'm not a human, right? So therefore, I don't have to adhere to the rules of the land.
Exactly.
But you're not a fly forever. You're a fly for a day, right? You said.
Yeah, but what I learned during that time as a fly,
Yeah.
that's not my fault. I can't help hearing what I hear.
Yeah, but my point is, Ash, now. So what would happen is, see, I'm getting deep in this. 'Cause I'm thinking about you as a fly. Yeah. So you're going to come back and you're going to be like, okay, cool. It's like almost like saying I'm gambling. I want to put everything on red because you've got this information now. Like I'm going to put everything. Someone's going to flag. You're going to get flagged.
Why? No, you're
Getting
not.
flagged. You're getting
No,
flagged.
you're not, because I don't have any connections to city people.
You're getting flagged. You say,
I'm
you
not
remember that?
getting slagged, babes. I'm
Do you
telling you.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that brown fly that I saw on the wall that day? I swear that might have been.
No, but see that's the beauty of being a fly. You don't have to. You could camouflage yourself neatly.
I don't know. I'm being that awkward guy today. I don't know. But anyway, listen, if that works, right? I need to hear Anthony's one because I don't know what
I
would
knew
do.
that was coming. I was waiting for you.
Okay, I want to hear what Ant says first. I want to hear what Ant says.
No,
but you maybe can come up with your own scenario.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll tell
Maybe,
you
what if, this is even better. What if your fly can time travel for one day?
No, now you've listen, the funny thing was where I was headed was into the time continuum. I was already going there, and now you took
Were
it to
you?
a whole nother level. Yeah. So I was
Okay,
thinking,
okay. You tell
for
me
me
then.
personally,
What was your like answer to that?
I guess I guess I've always had this sort of inquisitive mind from a young lad. No, and as all young boys, we always think about space, astronauts, all of these type of things. I want to be an astronaut. I wanna discover beyond the universe. Actually, I wouldn't mind being a fly on the wall in NASA's department. Yeah, I wouldn't mind being a fly on the wall like there. Let me find out some things about this year. Just that's more than just about funds and stuff like that. Let me just get a broader overview, because obviously my overview is very limited. Now let's think outside of the box. Actually, let's think outside of the sphere. Let's universal. You know, that's definitely something, because I'm sure there'll be lots of things that would, it'd put different perspective on things. Maybe I might not want that 50 milli after all. Maybe I don't. Maybe I might not even want the milli after all, because we're all here chasing it. But then there's the one thing that we all know is inevitable. You ain't going nowhere with it. Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean? You're not
yeah,
going anywhere with it. So
yeah.
that's for me personally. So I'm thinking that side, that curiosity, that opportunity, just to itch, yeah, scratch that itch basically. That's where my
You know what?
mind is going at
I
the minute.
I could totally roll with that. I could totally roll with that one actually. I would be quite curious, you
But
know.
is there more to it than all of this? What is it? What is it? What is it? Look at Leon. He's
Well,
philosophical.
like
He
you,
looks like
Leon, you're like
Gandhi himself.
so deep in thought.
No,
Yes,
because
he's
I'm
really.
thinking, I'm thinking, do I want to know something that is, that because that what answer said it is quite. It's like there's certain things that the unanswered questions in life, the things that it's like, oh, wow, I didn't. This is the why A happens and B happens. So I understand that. Then even with yours, Ash, is like get this information which is going to help me not have to go to prison for the £1 million. Yeah, so that even that's a good one, right? But I'm like, oh, do I just want to hear some absolute gossip? No, not really. 'Cause who cares?
Right?
But then also, because when I think about people like Jeff Bezos and like the Bill Gateses of this world and stuff, I think these guys have that built something, and I'm just like it's a different kind of question, because I would like to talk to somebody like that to kind of get into their head to understand that. Not just the work ethic or the ethos or how they do, or how they thought or how they've gone about it, because that's a conversation. Me being a fly on Jeff's wall, he ain't going to tell me the stuff that I need to know. Do you see what I mean? I'm just going to hear him moaning about not making
I
a
can
certain
save
amount of
you
things.
some trouble. I
Do you
can
see what I
save you
mean?
some trouble as a fly, and I can tell you how they made their millions and their
Yeah,
billions.
but it's not just how they
They
made them.
exploited people. That's what they did.
All these people make money exploit people. I just in terms of like, okay, that's a good insight. Then I thought, no, I don't really want to do that either. You see what I mean? It's like, what do I want to do as a fly? And if I flew somewhere, I want to go somewhere nice. I don't want to just go to I want to go somewhere nice as well. Do you know what I
Look
mean?
at you can hear about Steve as a fly. He's actually now in his fly body. He's thinking, where do I fly to?
Where do I
What
fly to? You know what I
do I
mean?
fly away? What do I do?
He's gonna give me the juice. He's gonna give me the stuff that I need. Because you lots are all like good. Mine's just like
What is yours? Where are you gonna fly to? Where are you
mine's
No,
gonna
but
fly to?
mine's
Where's
just
your dream destination? Ultimately, what's your dream destination?
I don't even have one. No, seriously, someone asked me that like a couple years ago, and I was like, I don't actually even have a dream destination. It's not like some people say I've always wanted to go to New York. I don't care. Just get me out of this country. Where I like culture. I like enjoying stuff. So you could tell me A, B, C, D. You could tell me wherever it is, and I'm going to enjoy it for what it is. No, you're distracting me from my fly. I'm flying.
okay, so maybe you might need to fly away and fly into that thought zone, because if you think of it like this, Ash just said, right, is as a human being on the planet, what do most people think of? They're going to think of, all right, the finances. I thought of something that's beyond that. That's like what we all, because we're all human on that level. So just looking at it from a much greater perspective. But you might even want to find the mysteries to something like the inevitable that we all face. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a fly on the wall to fight. It just depends on what somebody's motivation is. Because as you said, as you're going back to life changing, what that is for one person might just be the birth of their child. That's life changing. That's enough. That's good enough
Mm,
for them. Somebody else, it
mm.
might be, no, I need 50 milli. Somebody else, one man's dirt is another man's gold.
Yeah, yeah.
So So it really does. It really depends. So now that you're given an opportunity, you're given this power. You're able to extract some information that can help you. Then you start realizing, what do I really want though? Do I really want this thing that I'm sort of chasing every day? Is that what I really want, or not really? Or what do I want? It's quite profound, and I would love the viewers to know what they would do if they were flying. I would love those guys to let us know, what would you
Yeah,
do
you know
if
what?
you were
I'm
flying
gonna
the wall?
listen.
So that's another poll that has to go out there.
Yeah.
What would you do if you were bestowed, you were given the knighthood from Ash Bibi herself, from the Queen of the Damned, and she said, you will be a fly for today, and you could have those powers. Hell, you could even be a camouflaged fly, and you don't have to eat the proverbial, as Leon was dreading, and you don't have to, you just can go and extract some information. What would you do with this amazing gift?
But how about we put a poll and say, well, listen, where are you going to send me, guys? Because at the moment, I'm a bit stuck. Yeah, send me somewhere. Listen,
Where
I'm
are we
happy.
going to send Leon?
Send me somewhere because at the moment, I'm struggling. I'm probably in a moment where probably had a few two sips of my drink, and I'm like, I don't know where what I want to learn. What do I want to know? Is it profound? Is it going to be money motivated? Is it going to be a bit of history making? Is it just learning more about myself? Is it going? It could be lots of stuff, but at the moment, I probably need another few sips to kind of get that clarity. Do you see what I mean?
Can I tell you, Leon? Can I tell you? You just really are just a humble guy who sells mobile phones, man.
I'm just a humble guy, man. I don't know what it is. I just don't know what I want.
More incredible than General Levy himself. Incredible. Now, on that note of incredible, let me move this on. So, I've got a scenario here, guys, for you. What if you could only communicate in song, just like I did there? How would we survive? Would we even be able to flying away? So no, it's I'm walking away. Yes. So we'd have to change the lyrics from I'm walking away.
Let's fly,
There you go.
let's fly away.
There you go. Come on, that's what Leon would be doing right now if he was a fly. He's looking to fly away, he just doesn't know where.
Hello from the air.
Yeah, he'll be like, I've been around the world and I
can find my baby.
Can't find my baby.
Can you imagine what that's like? I mean, we're gonna try it for we've got a little bit of time here. So over the next few minutes, look, try and get in as many songs as you can. No diggity, no doubt. Now, so right, I'll tell you what I want.
What I
really want.
See?
I'll tell you what I want.
You just have to go. You gotta go classic.
Listen. This is how we do it. Listen, I'm reading them out.
On a Friday night. Yeah, he's got the beverages as well. He's got one for the money, two for the show. Yeah, another for the honey, and away we go.
Come on.
Yeah. All right. So no, we're doing pretty well. Come on, keep it going, guys. It's almost 1 minute. Keep it going.
I can't think of anything.
Keep on moving. Don't stop now.
Listen, we can't let this time be gone. But the truth remains yours. That's NSYNC. You don't know about NSYNC. You don't know about NSYNC.
It's nothing like his name's Jodeci out here. He's changing it from Jackman to Leon Joda. Yeah, man. And he's got Jodie as well. Nah! Come on. Oh, yes. Second to none.
You two are so much better at the songs than I am.
Come on.
All I can think of is artists. All I can think of is, I should be so lucky.
Of course.
No, but seriously, Ash, I don't see nothing wrong.
You won't be saying that if he's in the jailhouse. That's what they'll be singing when you drop the soap. That's what they'll be singing when you drop the soap. Those.
Listen, it's gonna be in the jailhouse rock, baby.
You know what they'll be doing, Leon? They'll be doing this one. You ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere.
I'm leaving. Forget the million.
He said, I'm out.
Out. Do you know what I mean? No, there's honestly, why are we hitting a brain fog? Like, there's so many we could just reel off now.
Do you know what I mean? I think we just need like a list in front of us, and it would come.
Oh, you could. It's got so many genres.
Vibe, yeah.
That's the thing.
Right now, you have to be really down with your music. Like, you have to be a proper music head.
Because right now we're following the leader, aren't we? That's what we're doing.
I'll
We're
have a
following the
leader.
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 You know, there's so many classical ones, you know. But what I can say, guys, is time may not be on our side.
Mm.
It might not be on our side. You know.
Hey, we're not ready to say bye yet, are we?
You go, nah, come on, Ash, you got in there.
I've got in
I
there.
mean,
You got
don't
in there.
worry, it is, you know. And then, you know, because you never know, you might need somebody. You just might
You
need
might need
somebody.
somebody.
And stop right now. Thank you very much.
Just because you're on Mount Olympus, okay? Just because you don't need nobody, right? Just because you're all good, you know, just because of that, you see, you're always looking down at us.
Listen.
Nobody like what kind of body?
It's only got my lyrics.
Rewind when the crowd said "Bow selector." Rewind that one, Ash.
Yeah.
Rewind that one. I want to hear that again.
I think I messed those lyrics up. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Don't touch me, tease me, feel me, and caress me, and then just take it away.
Me, tease me. Listen, Ash, I know about the body that you had. It might be no body like Keith Sweat, but anyway, you know.
Nobody. Listen. I don't want to rock the boat. Yeah, I don't want to rock the boat.
You don't want to rock the boat, baby?
I don't want to
rock the boat?
Well, there you go. You know, maybe what it is I need to try again. Maybe I need to try again. You know what I mean? And I know there'll be some viewers going, "What's that? Who's that?" You know, and it really.
I don't even know what that is.
That was Aaliyah.
That's Aaliyah. And even when I say rock the boat, my rock the boat was Aaliyah rock the boat. But then I know you talking about rock the boat. That's how I got it. I got the transition.
There you go.
But you know what? You know what it is, Anne? You know what it is, Anne? Ash is looking for those hot boy, baby. You know.
Listen, because you know why? You know why she's looking for the hot boys? Because she wants to get a freak on, innit? That's why she's looking for those hot boys.
And then, you know what? And then you know what she's gonna say? Give me some more.
What is this now?
And when you give her some more, you know what? Do you know what happens when she sits down? She's gonna be like, "Pass the Cavassier," you know. Oh, listen. So that's just Buster Rhymes. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. You know. Actually, that's easier.
Jamie can't bust a move, huh?
Oh, well, there you go. Bust those moves. You know what I'm saying? You know, you like bust a bust, but I think that's actually easier if you just take an artist and then think about as many tracks it can, because that's what's actually worked. We stumbled on something, we found something. You know, that would be really interesting. But it's definitely one of those challenges. It kind of reminds me of a challenge that I did once with.
Listen, you tried to walk away, but you stumbled.
Listen, I was on my knees, but you know, I wasn't begging knees. But yeah. So. Guys, look, that was definitely fabulous. I would definitely say that's almost like a great party game. Recently, when we were doing this radio interview, Leon was asked what game show we do. That's actually pretty fun.
Yeah, that's probably one. That is probably one.
Do you see? You can literally give somebody and I know Ash, you're really big on games, and you usually have a games night with your peoples from that point of view. But that could be a very interesting game. You know, you're given a particular artist. And then, or you select out of a pool of many different artists, and then how many title tracks do you know? And have to put them together. And then you could even have the judges look. I mean, Leon is really sitting there like his name's Simon Cowell, right? Sitting there with a t-shirt as well, you know, just watching. And as he said, I'm in a mean mood today. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a mean one. And he's just sipping. He's like, nah.
No.
It'd be really exciting.
The concept's quite a good concept. I actually think that would actually work in terms of that.
What would be the name of the game? Let that
sink in.
Right, there you go.
So actually, before we go for the episode, I need to talk to you guys about your little trip to Marlow FM, because I wasn't able to make it, but you guys were there representing. Give us the lowdown.
It was good vibes, wasn't it, Ants? It was a nice it was a nice kind of it was nice to kind of get out, right? Not only obviously plug the show, but also just to kind of get
I love the fist of power. The fist of power. Yes, I love it.
I don't think I want to know what he's doing.
No, that sounds the fist of power.
That's what it is. the fist of
No,
power.
but it's not,
Power.
no, but it's because then Ash said, I don't know what you want to do. So any viewers who are not, anyone's listening, yeah, and not watching, yeah, it's not what you're trying to imply. That's nothing going on like that, yeah.
You know what? My apologies, because of course you just believe everybody's watching the visual, but
You
those
see what I
listeners,
mean?
yeah,
So
the fist
let me
of power is
explain.
something
I
very
clenched
interesting.
my fist because Brentford have just equalised against Arsenal.
Oh no!
What?
My
So
goodness!
so anyone who's listening and not watching, I clenched my fist because of that. Then Ash made a comment saying, "I don't know what you want. I don't even want to see what you're doing, or don't want to even know."
Because you had a look on your face. You know what I mean?
So just in case you was listening, it's a clean show.
Wow! I
There's
am.
nothing going on.
I'm annoyed. Don't worry, we've got 20 minutes. Come on, you guns. And
It was good for me and Anthony to get out, and they played. Don't get me wrong, like so. Andy Franklin. It's Franklin.
Yes, it is
Who,
Franklin.
yeah, sorry. Who he has two different shows. He's got an R&B show and he's got a club classic. Obviously, me and Anthony listening to all sorts of, even just now, that little rendition that we done just now in terms of the different song titles and different lyrics. We heard things from Boyzone to
Yeah.
take me back.
to Simply
Take that.
Red to
Oh,
Cardi
yeah.
B to whatever. And the thing is, I've always been someone who, like, whether that be through work, and playlists at work are always quite random. Listen, music's music to me. So even like listening to one of the Boyzone songs, when I listen to it back to it, I was thinking, this Boyzone song's all right. You see what I mean? So
Yeah,
I'm not against
that
any
sounds
music.
like a vibe to me, those songs. And Andy is he's such a cool guy as well. He's a vibe as well himself, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So no, it was good. It was good. It was a good laugh, man, wasn't it? It was good.
Yeah, and as I said, one of the things you asked me about the game show, but the funniest thing is that it's like the game show is almost developing in front of my eyes, because I'm thinking, right, if you go for a genre that you're really good at, you get minus points for it. Not minus points, but less
Yeah, I
points.
get it. Less
And if you
points
go
for it,
for a
yeah.
genre that you're not so good at, yeah, it's not really then you can get double points. So it's so you might only get 2, but it's worth more points.
And I've
for it.
just thought
Something
of
like that.
one. I just thought of one. So Ash was talking about flying. Westlife, flying without wings.
Yeah, flying without wings, baby.
There you go. A Robbie Williams is coming in my head somewhere. There's a Robbie
Westlife
Williams
the
in
whole
my head.
time in my head.
Do you know what I mean? Flying without wings. Let's
Flying
don't get
without wings,
twisted.
and that's definitely entertaining. So that will definitely entertain me. So let me entertain you. Absolutely.
How do we mix this with the what ifs for this quiz?
Do you know what?
How do we mix it?
It needs to be like somehow, like flying without wings.
You know what? We did the Toy Story, the toy fair, sorry, myself
Yeah.
and Ash. But
Yeah.
I can see a let that sink in game. Gosh, it's all coming together. It's all coming together. I see it, Leon. I see it. You know what? We need to get busy on this one. So, any viewers
Actually-
listening in the right department, yeah, there's something that could definitely go on here. Indeed.
But guys, we definitely gotta bye soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, once again, guys, look, time is always running and passing. Time flies when you're having fun. Indeed, it's been an absolute pleasure to have your viewing company, to have your listening ear. Once again, I have to give mad love out to the man, the myth, the legend, the phenomenal Mr. Leon Jackman. And shouts out to the gorgeous. Look at that smile. It smiles from ear to ear. It's so infectious. She is no other than the one and only Miss Ash Bibi. Guys, look forward to seeing you on episode 5.
See you soon.
See you soon, guys. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye, guys.